decades of being one of the top professionals in a very competitive high-end market. And I'd love to find out, I mean, what's this? You started your first company in 1974 in your dorm room?
Well, yes. Not to brag or anything, but I'm one of the few people in the business who didn't come to it from some other profession. This is something, for some reason, I knew from an early age that I would be doing something to do with houses. As you read my intro, that thing of building the tree houses out in the woods and the forts out in the woods, and that feeling of well-being that comes about from being in your own space is something that I'm actually addicted to, and helping other people find it or sell the one they have to get another one is something I'm just addicted to being a part of. And so at the age of 21 in 1974, I knew absolutely everything, and therefore I did not need to work for anyone else. I just started my own real estate company. It was the most sad, pathetic thing you ever saw in your life. In fact, I used to make my own signs. I had no money. I had $600. My car got rear-ended in a snowstorm. It was a 1967 lime green Ford Maverick with a black racing stripe down the hood and a 3-speed standard shift on the column. And so I didn't get it fixed. The whole rear quarter panel was crushed. And the $600 was the seed money that I used to start my business. And it was not impressive at all. It was pathetic, sad, and it's a miracle that everything worked out. But I think a lot of why it worked out is that, it is my calling. I'm truly passionate about the business. I truly believe that real estate is the absolute best investment on the planet if you remember the rules that our parents and our grandparents followed. And the whole problem we're having now in the economy, especially as it pertains to real estate, is that people forgot the rules of real estate. And they violated the rules of real estate, and the consequences were disastrous.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely spot on. And we talk about that a lot is for example, I've got some investment property myself, and the best advice I've gotten about it was never sell it. Pay it off and never sell it. And I think that, for me, formed part of the rules that I was taught, and it's been the best thing I've ever done is to keep those properties.
No question. This is this is 2013, so now it's 39 years, and it'll be 39 years for me in the business. And so I've been through 3 major downturns. The one that I began my career in 1974 when you had to wait in line on odd and even days to get gas for your Maverick. And then we had the other one Maverick in the late 80s, early 90s. Now we have the one that we're currently in. Well, 2 out of the 3 recessions, and I was a little bit more established, it's my rental real estate that got me through these tough times. And while, rents, in some of these markets, rents are down 50%, but when you've paid your property off, it doesn't matter. When there's no bank involved, it doesn't matter because you can cut your rents and you still have cash flow. It's not what you were getting in the prime market, but it's still keeping your head above water, still keeping you alive. And the rents will come back, just like the values will come back. But if you don't own anything, who cares? And if you make a commitment to get your real estate loans paid off, especially your primary residence and your rental property after that, 20 years goes fast. The time is going to pass. You want to be... People think, oh, that's so far in the future. Why make that extra $100 a month payment? Why make that 13th payment a year? Why? It's just not going to amount to anything. It's going to take so long. Well, I can tell you, 20 years goes by so fast, and what you don't want to do is look back and say, gosh, if I'd only been paying that extra $100 a month, or if I'd only made that 13th payment a year, I'd be free and clear right now.
That's astute. See, thank you, Jack. And if you just tuned in, we're talking with Jack Cotton. He's an expert from Cape Cod, one of the top real estate agents in the nation for the last almost 40 years now. Sorry to throw that out to you, Jack, but it's
okay.
It's a fact. And he's sharing with you what you hear a lot on our show about the importance and the opportunities in real estate and thinking ahead and planning and speaking with an expert on how to change your life. And I appreciate you sharing that with us, Jack, because real estate is, we say it every week, it's one of the best, especially now, one of the best opportunities we may ever see.
Well, it's not one of the best. It is the absolute best opportunity. Real estate is the best investment you will ever make if you follow the rules. And you sort of, I think, have the same sort of philosophy I do. And, if you read Albert Einstein, of all people, to think about real estate advice, but if you read Albert Einstein's biography by Walter Isaacson, my favorite quote in the whole book, and it's like 1,000 pages thick, is that compound interest should be the 8th wonder of the world. Because if you look at how the miracle of compound interest works, It can work against you or it can work for you. Why not put the equal of the world working for you? And by paying an extra $100 a month on your home mortgage at a bare minimum, you harness that miracle in your favor, and you can change your life in a short amount of time, relatively short amount of time.
Yeah, in fact, I absolutely love that quote myself, Jack. And the thing that I'm thinking about with compound interest is when you see price appreciation in real estate, it's compound interest as well, because you gain 5% and then the next year you gain 3% on the 5%. So holding real estate is definitely a way to definitely gain compound interest on your real asset holdings that are a hedge against inflation as well.
And, speaking of inflation, I mean, I'm no financial expert, but I deal with a lot of really wealthy people. And if I look at my transactions this year, say these are all summer homes, say between $3.5 million and above that people buy for 8 weeks a year. In every single case except for one, the purchaser was somebody from the finance world, either a hedge fund manager or a mutual fund manager or some kind of a money manager investing his or her own funds in real estate. And they think that inflation is coming. And if you think of inflation, well, what's the best inflation hedge you can have? Well, typically it's a natural resource like oil, like steel, like iron, like wood, like paper, like whatever, all these natural resources. Well, name for me one better coming together, one better amalgamation of natural resources than a structure, than a house, than an office building, than a store, than any kind of real estate. There's absolutely no better coming together of natural resources on the planet than a piece of real estate that's been improved with some sort of a building that's useful to someone else.
And that is very good information. Thank you, Jack. He's talking about your home or your ability to have a home, and it is the best investment you can have. We're going to talk more about the best time and the best investment. We're talking the best investment with one of the best professionals in the nation. And we're also going to find out more about how you can get advice from a dog named Moose. When we come back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show on your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS.